Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Megan Fox and another one on Machine Gun Kelly. Now, I'm not going to really just talk about and focus on their the questions that people have out there, which is obvious if they are, an item. But as far as we know, this is Megan Fox, and she's married, as far as we know, still to Brian Austin Green. And as of this year, she has separated from him. And she was seen in Machine Gun Kelly's video. And it was pretty steamy according to, what's out there. So that's the backstory. Megan Fox, she's been an actress, in movies and things like that. Machine Gun Kelly is an artist, musician, somebody that writes songs, sings and performs. He does the whole shebang. So I'm just going to give you the tea as to what I see together. I'm going to start about this whole thing. What Spirit is revealing is that they definitely do have chemistry. They definitely are friends, but I feel like there is a potential that they did have like an affair, or they have gone to an intimate level. So they have taken it there. I feel like they are not right for each other, though. And when I say that, I mean that in the most respectful way. When I get into Megan's soul and her energy is one that is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very powerful. It's very strong, but at the same time, there's a lot of other factors in there. It's a sense of not being perfect, a sense of constant needing to change, because if she doesn't experience change on many levels, she can be very stagnated and feeling oppressed and go into a depressive mode. And so I feel like she has qualities. These two would be like twin flames in some way, because they mirror each other. Like, they both have the same kind of spontaneous energy that kind of meets one another and complements one another. For her, it's always been about the money, going towards the best opportunities where the money would be, staying relevant. I do feel like in many ways she does have a lot of regrets in her life that she, would be like decisions that she's made, and she's not proud of. But I also feel like, when it comes to her life, there's a lot of struggles that I keep seeing. I feel like she's going to continue to be embroiled in headlines and scandals throughout her career with other women, and possibly romantically with the men that she would be involved with. I do feel like on some level that she is not necessarily sure of what she wants when it comes to romance. Things got very boring or stagnated. I mean, Brian Austin Green is a very hot guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, he is really, like, if you haven't seen him, Google him if you don't know who he is. But he's really, really, a handsome guy. But I really think that beyond that, there was a lot of power struggles between the both of them. I feel like she is someone that is very very strong-minded, like I said, and he's also very strong-minded, and so it's like a clash of the titans going back and forth for power, like who has the control. And just like I feel like there was a little bit of jealousy, maybe from Brian's standpoint, or control that he wanted on her, and she's a very free spirit. One that cannot be contained, one that is desired by a lot of men. And I feel like a lot of men may have been very disrespectful during the course of her marriage with Brian, that the fact that they didn't respect the fact that she is a married woman, etc. So there, she by no means is any angel, but neither is Brian in many ways. And I feel like it got so to the point where they are done with one another, and I don't feel like they'll ever get back together. They could try, but I feel like they're both on new soul paths, and for her, it's all about exploration, connecting with her higher self. I feel like this whole divorce, when eventually it happens, it is going to propel her into her spiritual side a lot more, and it's going to make her feel more connected with her true self, because I feel like for many years she hasn't felt like she's been able to be her true self, because she was a wife, and she was, in this relationship. But I see things are changing, and I don't see that her and Machine Gun Kelly are going to have like anything really long term or long lasting, because of the fact that I feel like she has a younger guy that would be interested. Maybe not even. Well, he could be a little, maybe not that younger, but he's definitely a little older than Machine Gun Kelly. I don't know, because Machine Gun Kelly's like in his 30s. So this guy may be in his late 20s, early 30s. That's all I know. It's somebody that's younger. I feel like he may be darker complexion. I feel like he may have like, he may be like a model as well. I feel like he is in the entertainment industry, and she may entertain this for a while. But she is moving away. Like, I feel like this is an ending for her life when it comes to her, her existing marriage with Brian Austin Green. She's moving away from that, and she's going to find that it's not always greener on the other side. This, even though this is all a part of her soul path, her soul contract here on earth, there's a lot of hardships that she still has to face. One is the legal stuff, ironing that out. The other thing is the people that she's going to have to come up against, nasty energies, mutual friendships that have dissolved now or been impacted. You know how that goes when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you separate. Then you're having to deal with their friends, right? Their friends become very defensive, and so it becomes a very volatile situation. I do feel like on some level, though, there is another partner out there for her. Whether she will remarry again, it's very possible. She's very young, but I feel like for the most part, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Spirit shows me that she's going to be very active towards opportunities. And as weird as it sounds, I feel like now that she would be single, or not single, but like separated, she's going to become a hot commodity once again, where I feel like they're going to, producers and people in the entertainment industry are going to want to book her for stuff, book her for movies and roles and stuff. So I feel like there's a resurgence of Megan Fox that we haven't seen, that we are going to see as time progresses. But I also feel like her husband is going to continue. I call him husband because they're still, as far as we know, they're married until that it's announced that they are divorced. But I feel like for some reason, Brian is going to be kind of bitter, and it's going to be harder for him to move on. He's a good guy, and it's very painful, but I feel like he will be able to move on. But I feel like he's not going to let her get away with all the money or take money. When it comes to their assets, joint or different assets they would both have, there is going to be a lot of him having more say in this. I don't understand what that means from Spirit, other than maybe he bought most of the stuff or whatever. But I feel like he's going to stay with maybe like the home or property, something like that. It's going to be something where she's going to be kind of pissed off, basically, because she's not going to get everything that she would have hoped for. And that's what I get from Spirit about her. So now we're going to get into Machine Gun Kelly. All right, so when I get into Machine Gun Kelly, he is very handsome, obviously. He's very attractive, but I feel like, when I get into his soul, there's a lot of unstable energy. I feel like he is someone that is very spontaneous, like I said, where they mirror each other, him and Megan. But I also feel like he is someone that doesn't take himself very seriously. He doesn't take life very seriously in many ways, and he's a risk taker, and he's someone that can be happy one moment, angry the next, and goes and either self-medicates or goes and turns to coping mechanisms that are unhealthy in some ways, that it kind of can be self-destructive. I feel like it's already taken a toll on his body. I feel like he would be suffering from some health issues later down the road if he hasn't already had this now. There is like some, basically he needs to be very careful with what he does, because I feel like he could overdo something, if you follow, in the near future. And again, these are in the moments where he feels very stressed, and he combines smoking cannabis with maybe something else out there. There is a potential danger for that. But I see that he is someone that is very much going to always have money. He's always going to have that star power. That's what he came down to earth to do. I feel like there's a lot of he came down to earth to basically have a different life than his past life, one that would allow him to have a lot of women, fame, money, a one that is very glamorous, but at the same time, it's not all that it's chalked up to be. There is a lot of pressure. I feel like for him to be loyal to someone, it would require a very, very special soul that would touch his heart. But I feel like he's almost numb when it comes to love. So I don't feel like he would really be involved in a very long-term or loving relationship. There would always be doubts whether he would be cheating. There would always be temptations with Machine Gun Kelly. And it's because, I feel like he finds healing through various people. He would be someone that we would call like an energy vampire. And I don't feel like he does it intentionally. This doesn't make him a bad person, because he's not a bad person at all. But I do feel like he has an innate ability to be like an energy vampire, where he hooks up with different people, because that is like everybody has a different energy signature and can give him some kind of healing that he needs in that specific moment. And it doesn't always have to be like intimate. It doesn't have to be sexual at all. It could just be hooking up and talking over coffee, maybe cuddling, something very, very innocent, or just hanging out on the couch and just watching a movie together with his buddies. This can be both men and women. He draws energy from people around him. And that's one of his qualities that makes him very magnetic, because I haven't met this man in person, but I know that in person, Spirit is saying that he's very attractive, very magnetic. There's something about him that there is like magic protecting him in many ways. Like he has this aura that is just very, very how should I say, just very magnetic. I feel like he has like a yellow aura, but he also has like a blue aura. So he has those different auras in him, around him. But they, auras can always change. They're never set in stone. I know a lot of aura readers and people like that, that believe that we have our set sense of auras and they stick to us. But I feel like he changes, and he can change depending on his moods. I do feel like there is going to be some kind of loss that he experiences later down the road that is going to change his life, and we're going to see him writing songs about this. They're showing me, like, I don't know if he's ever done like a video where there's like a funeral procession or something about the church. And because I don't follow his music, I don't listen to Machine Gun Kelly. I probably should, but I don't. But I feel like I keep seeing visions of like a funeral home. I don't know what this means, like a hearse, and it's almost like macabre inside of a music video or inside of some kind of project, maybe a movie that he's going to be working on. I don't know, but that's what I kind of see. I do feel like there are some legal issues that will creep up eventually around Machine Gun Kelly, and we will hear about that within the next 2 years. So he needs to be very careful. I feel like this is about his money, who is managing his money, whether or not he has enough money, because even though he is a superstar, there's always people that are maybe around you that could be greedy. And that's something he needs to watch for. Like, really have someone that he can really trust, because sometimes you have a lot of yes people around you that tells you, oh yeah, you're fine, you have enough money to cover this, and this, but then you go and spend like a bala out there, and it becomes a situation where you don't have enough money like you thought. So that's something to really watch. I do feel like he is going to enter into a relationship, but it won't be serious with someone. I don't feel like it could be Megan. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is somebody else in the industry. And I do feel like she is very attractive. She is a brunette, and I feel like she may be in the music industry as well, or has worked in that area. But I feel like she's more into fashion for some reason. maybe even a model herself. But I feel like, again, that there is someone that is coming. Spirit wants Machine Gun Kelly to rest. This is one of the things that he doesn't do, and it's going to eventually catch up to him, where he will probably have like panic attacks or have nosebleeds and things like that, because his body, I feel like, is going too fast. It's almost like speed. So he needs to slow things down. They want Spirit, over the next couple of months, they want him to slow down, because even during this pandemic, I feel like he's always still busy doing something. And basically, within the next 7 months, there's a big change for him. I feel like there is going to be a new project, maybe a new announcement, but there is something really big coming in for him. I also feel like he needs to be careful when he is in a vehicle. I don't know if he drives his own vehicle or he is chauffeured, but there's something about the left side of a vehicle, being very careful, because there could be like an accident that happens, and just watching out for, intersections and stuff like that. But that's what I see from Spirit. I feel like he's a great guy, a great personality. It's not very oppressive, but he needs to work on like elevating his energy and his vibration. He can do this through meditation, listening to his favorite music. I don't feel like when he has like a lot of bad, low vibrations all the time. He's, like I said, very chill, very cool, someone that you would love to hang out with and just like have as a best friend. So I really like him. But when it comes to Megan, she does have a little darker energy in her, that sometimes it's like a shadow that follows her. And I feel like she may be very intuitive, and like I said, her spiritual abilities eventually are going to open up full blast. And when that does, we can create like our own portals and things can follow us. But I do feel like she's had her experiences with the paranormal, whether or not she talks about it or not. I do feel like there is something that follows her that is very dark and that affects her moods, things like that. So for her, it would be about like doing spiritual baths, spiritual cleansings, and bathing in Epsom salt and lavender and rose petals, praying to Archangel Michael, doing a full body cleanse, having someone to do Reiki, intense Reiki on her. And I feel like that's what she actually needs, like to kind of get rid of this and close down, and get rid of that dark entity that follows her, because that's something that I wasn't able to see right away when I started reading her at the very beginning of this reading. But as we got to the end of it, I was able to shift between her and him, and I saw that Machine Gun Kelly's clean. Like, he has no bad energy really around him or entities following him. Megan, on the other hand, she does have something, and it is like a male presence, but I don't feel like it's living, or it ever was living. This is like a multi-dimensional being, but she has something definitely around her. But she's a good person too. Like, it's the matter of finding balance and really setting boundaries for her that's going to help her, and also, like I said, grounding herself and getting rid of negative energies, because she is an empath. And so when you are open to Spirit, you have a lot of people that you may be in showbiz, friends, people that are texting you, calling you, your energy's getting sucked away. And that's why I always say it's always important at the end of the day to call your power back. I, Raymond Guzman, call back all of my power. And she could say, I, Megan Fox, call back all of my power, and I protect myself and shield myself from any negative energy. That's something that she could just easily repeat, and it would protect her in many ways. Because, again, words are spells, and what we say, we can create and manifest into reality. So I wish them both the best. This was my psychic reading on Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. If you have not yet followed me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Again, at Psychic Medium Ray, and it's listed at the description box below as well, because I post a lot of things that I don't always post on YouTube, and you may want to check it out. So blessings and love and light. Thank you again, guys. Bye.